Hello everyone, my name is Kirandeep Kaur and in this video we will be upgrading our English. So yes, you heard it right. In this video I'll be telling you some vocabs, I'll be telling you some tips, some pronunciations of words which will be helping you in upgrading your English. Why it is important, why I have started with this series is because it will help you feel more confident. What happens is whenever we are going to talk to somebody, whenever we know that we are going to interact with somebody who is from a very good position, we just get nervous कि how are we going to talk, हम क्या बोलेंगे, वो कैसे interact करेंगे, what are the vocabs they are going to use, and this is very natural कि ऐसा एक hesitation, एक under confidence feel होता है. But when we know कि हमारी English upgraded है, हमारी vocabs strong है and we know the latest vocabs, so it automatically makes us feel more confident and you will be able to communicate better, and using good vocabs, using a better English will actually help you in creating a better impression in front of everybody, and that in turn will get your things done the way you want. So yes, let's get started now. So first we'll be seeing some synonyms of commonly used words. So there are words, there are a few words that we use almost daily. We use those words a lot, and if but they are very basic, they are very simple. So now I will be giving you some synonyms जो आपकी हेल्प करेंगे अगर और ज़्यादा आपकी इंग्लिश को उन वर्ड्स को और अपग्रेडेड वे में यूज़ करने में, एंड ऑटोमेटिकली दैट विल सॉल्व योर पर्पस एंड विल मेक यू फील मोर कॉन्फिडेंट. Now the first word here is morose. Morose. Morose means moody, unhappy or annoyed. So sometimes जैसे हम लोग ये word एक moody ये word बहुत use करते हैं. We use it a lot कि okay this person is very moody. I'm feeling very moody. I'm getting irritated. So when somebody is unhappy or is annoyed or is unwilling to speak, smile or be pleasant to people, जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि moody person होता है जो बहुत upset होता है, irritated होता है, they don't interact with people that easily. तो उसके लिए हम एक word, एक synonym, better synonym जो use कर सकते हैं, that is morose. So for an example, like we can say he became morose and withdrawn after he lost his job. So as he lost his job, जैसे उसकी job गई, he started feeling very withdrawn and very morose, means very moody. So वो बहुत moody feel करने लगा और बहुत ज़्यादा withdrawn feel करने लगा. So here we have replaced the word moody with morose. Now the next is veritably. Now meaning is used to emphasize the great degree of something to a great extent. Now if we want to say to a great extent, to a great degree, then we can use veritably. Example can be the internet has veritably transformed our lives the way we communicate, learn and work. So जैसे हम लोगों को बोलना होता है to a great extent, like if I want to say that interacting with more and more people makes you feel confident to a great extent. So here in place of great extent we can use the word veritably. So in the same way जैसे हमने यहाँ पे example use करा है कि the internet has veritably transformed. So यहाँ पे we could have used to a great extent, but that is very basic, very common. So we have used a better word, that is veritably. Now next is dormant. Dormant. Now meaning is something that is dormant is not active or growing but has the ability to be active at a later time. So something which is inactive, something which is sleeping at that particular moment, that means dormant. But at the same time it has the ability to be active at a later time. So वो active हो सकता है after some time, but at that particular moment that thing or that person is not active. So we can use dormant. So ये basically एक synonym है for inactive. So for example, the long dormant volcano has recently shown signs of erupting. So volcano के लिए हम बोलते हैं ना sleeping volcano है, inactive है, right? So मतलब अभी erupt नहीं हो रहा है. But if we want to say अगर हमें उसकी जगह कोई better word use करना है, so we can say the long dormant volcano has recently shown signs of eruption. तो यहाँ पे हमने replace करा है inactive को with dormant. Then one more example, these investments have remained dormant for several years. Again, is not active, which means उसमें कुछ भी changes नहीं हो रहे हैं, it is the same as before. So again हम यहाँ पे उसको replace कर रहे हैं by dormant. So the investments have remained dormant, inactive, the same for several years. Next word can be rudimentary. Now what does this mean, rudimentary? It means very basic. It's very basic, something very underdeveloped or which is not that detailed. So कभी भी अगर हमें बोलना हो कि ये बहुत basic है, this is not that detailed, इतना intricate details नहीं है, or it is not that advanced, it is not that developed, that expertise, so then we can use the word rudimentary, right? So like for example you can say her understanding of the language is very rudimentary. So basically यहाँ पे हम बोल रहे हैं कि उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग लैंग्वेज को लेके उस लैंग्वेज में बहुत ज़्यादा बेसिक है, मतलब उसको बेसिक लेवल की वो लैंग्वेज आती है. सो rather than using that word basic, we have replaced it with a better word which is rudimentary. So like we can say that dance form is very rudimentary, मतलब वो dance form बहुत basic है, बहुत ज़्यादा simple है, तो which is not that developed, not detailed. So जैसे यहाँ पर again उसकी language, her knowledge of the language is very rudimentary. Now next can be nincompoop. It's a very different word, nincompoop. Now this means a silly or a stupid person, a person who is silly, a person who is stupid. So आप इसको यूज कैसे कर सकते हैं, यू कैन से दे हैव द जीनियसेस एंड वी हैव द निनकम्पूप्स. तो अगर हमें बोलना हो कि दैट दे हैव द जीनियसेस एंड वी हैव द निनकम्पूप्स, सपोज आपके स्कूल में दो ग्रुप्स बने हैं एंड वहां पर यू फील दैट आपके ग्रुप में यू डोंट हैव द पीपल यू वांटेड, सो यू सेड they have the geniuses and we have the nincompoop. So here the nincompoop word means stupid or silly. And the same way, the people running that company are a bunch of nincompoops. Again, silly people. So we can use nincompoop, which is a very different word for silly or stupid. Then avocation. Avocation. Now that means, see, vocation means your regular job. So avocation means something which is not your regular job, maybe your side job or something which you do for your interest, for your as a hobby. Now a hobby or other activity that you do for interest and pleasure, and that is not your main job. So again जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि avocation का मतलब होता है something which is your side job or something that you do for your interest, आपके interest या hobby. Now example can be in retirement he has found more time to pursue his avocations like hunting and fishing. So retirement के बाद that person has got some more time to pursue his avocations which is fishing and hunting. So यहाँ पे we have used the word avocation. In the same way, although he no longer works as a mechanic, he continues to repair cars as a avocation. So in the same way we said कि now जैसे यहाँ पर पहले that person used to work as a mechanic, a full-time mechanic, but after he has stopped doing this work, he still had interest in that thing. तो वो क्या कर रहे हैं, as a avocation उसको pursue कर रहे हैं. So again यहाँ पे हमने use करा है word avocation. So rather than saying a side job or a side earning source or just saying pursuing hobby or your interest, you can use a better word that is avocation. Then inelectable. Now this meaning, the meaning of this word is something which is impossible to avoid, basically unavoidable. So this word is again very much used in regular our regular language. हम बहुत use करते हैं इस word को, unavoidable situation, unavoidable circumstances. So in that place we can use inelectable. The sentence example can be the fall of the democratic government led to an ineluctable decline of the economy. So again unavoidable, अगर हमें बोलना है कि वो decline was unavoidable because the government was changed, the government was not able to do very well. So in that place, in place of unavoidable, we can use a very better word, a very good word, which is ineluctable. Again the ineluctable signs of aging. So again हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि the signs of aging are unavoidable. No matter what you do, आपकी aging show होती है, right? So in place of saying unavoidable, we say the ineluctable signs of aging, right? Now next word can be obdurate. Obdurate. Now what does this mean? refusing to change your mind or your actions in any way, which means being very stubborn. So if you want to say that somebody or something is stubborn, is very rigid, or is very adamant in something, you can use a better word, that is obdurate. For example, you can say the president remains obdurate on immigration. So now here, like I said, the president is very obdurate, which means very rigid, very adamant on immigration. The same way, the reason behind their breakup was his obdurate behavior. So a breakup happened, and the reason was for the breakup was that that boy's nature was very obdurate. He was very rigid. He was very adamant. He was very stubborn. So here you can use a better word, a better synonym, which is obdurate. Next is assiduous. Assiduous. Now this means hardworking, careful, meticulous, thorough, and attentive. So all these words together can be said with one single word, that is assiduous. So अगर आपको बोलना है that person that something is being done, or a person has these qualities, that person is very hardworking, is very attentive, and that person is very thorough with things, that person pays a lot of attention to details, then you can use one word, that is assiduous. Example is like the government has been assiduous in the fight against inflation. Now there was inflation in the country, and government tried all the measures, and they were very hardworking, careful, thorough, and attentive with those measures to overcome inflation. For that situation, for that way of dealing with things, we can use the word was being assiduous. So the government has been assiduous in the fight against inflation. In the same way, we can say Alan's assiduous nature and attention to detail led him to never miss a homework assignment. So again, Alan ka again he that person, that boy is very hardworking, very careful, and is very attentive towards things while doing things. So we can say that Alan's assiduous nature and attention to detail led him to never miss a homework assignment. Okay, now next is atrocious. Atrocious. Now, what is the meaning of the word atrocious? It means very bad, very awful. So something sometimes again it is a very common word. We use it a lot of times. We say, oh, that is very bad. Oh, that situation is very bad. That I saw the place, it was awful. So ये सब words बहुत common होते हैं. So for that you can use atrocious. Example can be conditions in the prison was atrocious. So prison, we all know it is it is a place where the situations are actually very bad. So for that we can say the conditions in the prison was atrocious. So rather than saying very bad, awful, we can say atrocious. Then the weather has been atrocious all week. तो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि last week से weather is very bad. It's been वेरी बैड, आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ये कैसा वेदर हो रहा है. तो आप उसके लिए एक बेटर वर्ड यूज कर सकते हो, लाइक atrocious. The weather has been atrocious all week. Then now the next is sophisticated words. Now we look at some words which are very sophisticated that you should use more often. Now that will again do the same purpose, that will do the same thing for you. It will make you feel more confident. People will pay attention. So this happens, this is actually true when you interact with people and you use a very good vocabulary, you use a very good word. So what happens is your people just suddenly start listening to you very carefully. Why? Because they feel that, okay, now this person knows something which we don't know. So now just imagine if you start using these sophisticated words regularly in your day-to-day language, in your day-to-day conversations, then just think how much attention and how much confidence you will be feeling in yourself. So let's look at some of those words. The first is epiphany. Epiphany. Now the meaning is a moment when you suddenly feel that you understand or suddenly become conscious of something that is very important to you. So which means जैसे हम अगर बोलते हैं ना कि while suppose imagine करिए कि suppose you are not that good in maths, and there is this one concept that you are not able to understand. So there is a doubt class which has been conducted, and you are there, and the teacher is explaining the concepts, and all of a sudden while listening to that, you had a feeling, you had a moment where you suddenly understand everything and you feel okay. So this was how it was working, how we used to, how we were supposed to do that particular question. So this moment of realization, this sudden moment of understanding something, is called epiphany. So now, for example, you can say, just as I was about to fail the exam, I had an epiphany and remembered some of the facts I had learned. So this happens with us. This must have happened with you as well. That हम जब exams देते थे, we study a lot a day before, and when we actually write the exam at that particular moment, we feel कि okay, अब मुझे ये concept याद नहीं आ रहा. I'm not able to recall. So कभी कभी it happens that you suddenly in a moment you realize कि okay, ये ऐसे नहीं, this question is supposed to be done like this. So that realization, that sudden realization is called epiphany. So this is an example for the same. Now the next can be, being in a car accident caused him to have an epiphany about the importance of chasing his dreams. In the same way, यहाँ पे भी he had a moment of realization. So for that you can use a better word, epiphany. Next is ineffable. Ineffable. Now this means too great or beautiful to be described in words. So we say, na, it is, I cannot describe it in words. It's so beautiful. Her beauty is ineffable. Matlab, it cannot be explained in words. So an example can be, the beauty of a the beauty of a sunset is ineffable. Matlab, it cannot be explained in words. It cannot be described. Then she felt ineffable joy at the sight of her children. So this is a beautiful feeling for a mother to see their children, to see her children. So that situation, that moment is also too beautiful to be explained into words. So we can use this better word here, that she felt ineffable joy at the sight of her children. Now, next is flustered. Flustered. Now, the meaning of this word is upset and confused. Now, if somebody is very upset, is very confused, we can say, okay, he looks flustered. So example can be, if I look flustered, it's because I'm trying to do so many things alone. So here, if you feel, okay, somebody is looking at you and giving you a look, okay, this person is confused. So what, in retaliation, maybe you may say that, okay, if I look flustered, it's because I'm trying to do a lot of things at the same time. So यहाँ पे the flustered word means to look confused or upset about something. Next is pristine. Pristine. So this word you might have heard before, pristine. Pristine का मतलब होता है very clean, very fresh, something which looks it's new. Okay, so extremely fresh and clean, as if new, or in a very good condition. We say na pristine white, or pristine floors, very clean, very fresh, very new floors, looking like it's very new. So example can be, washing machine for sale, only 2 months old and in pristine condition. So here we have used the word pristine. Here it means in condition, in a very good working condition, as if new. So as if new ke liye we can use this word pristine. Then diminutive. Diminutive. Now the meaning of this word is very small and tiny. Her hands are diminutive. Means which is something which is very small, something which is very tiny. Example can be, she has diminutive hands for an adult. So she is an adult, but her hands are very tiny, very small. So we say that she has diminutive hands for an adult. Okay, next word is jocular. Jocular. Now the meaning of this word is humorous or amusing. Something which is something or someone which is very humorous, which is very or amusing, we can use a better word which is jocular. Example, her jocular personality always made the customers smile. So this happens now that when we go to a store and when we are buying a few things, sometimes the customer service or the person there is very jocular, is very good in nature, and whenever we interact with that person, we feel very positive, and it actually leaves a very good impact. So here, for that good nature, for this that jovial and bubbly and happy-go-lucky nature, we can use this one word which is jocular. So her jocular personality always made the customers smile. जिसका भी नेचर बहुत ज़्यादा हैप्पी गो लकी होगा, बहुत पॉजिटिव, वेरी बबली, फॉर दैट वी कैन यूज jocular. Now, dulcet. Dulcet. Now, the meaning is sounds which are very soft and pleasant to listen to. So, ऐसे sounds which are very pleasant to listen or very soft to listen are dulcet sounds. Now, example can be last night I fell asleep listening to the dulcet sounds of soft jazz. So, again, यहाँ पे समझ में आ रहा है clearly we are using it for a pleasant sound or for a very soft, pleasant sound. So, you can use a word for that, that is dulcet. Next is levity. Levity. Meaning is humor or lack of seriousness, especially during a serious occasion. Now, sometimes there is a situation when you are not supposed to laugh, when you're not supposed to be ignorant of that thing which is being discussed there. So, agar wahan par somebody is humorous or someone is not paying attention, that thing is called levity. Now, example can be she would tolerate no levity in the classroom. So, in the classroom, everybody is expected to be attentive, everybody is expected to be disciplined. So, at that situation, if a teacher sees that there is a disturbance or levity, that thing will not be ignored. So, again, example is she would tolerate no levity in her classroom. Then, euphoria. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of you know the meaning of this word because we have a very we know about a series name with the same word. So it is euphoria. Euphoria. The meaning is extreme happiness, a feeling of extreme happiness, sometimes more than in reasonable in a particular situation. So sometimes it is even more than reasonable. जितना needed नहीं है उससे ज़्यादा भी when you feel happy, that feeling is euphoria. Example can be they were in a state of euphoria for the days after they won the prize. So when you win a prize, when you win an award, you feel very happy, you feel extremely happy, right? So that feeling of extreme happiness is euphoria. Then next is abate. Abate. Abate का meaning क्या होता है? Let's see. To become less strong, to make something less strong. So again, किसी चीज की ability, किसी चीज की power, to make something less strong, अगर उसको कम कर देना, किसी चीज को decrease कर देना, किसी चीज की power को, then that is abate. Now, example is the storm has started to abate. So storm की एक strength होती है, एक power होती है. So if it starts to decrease, if it starts to lessen, then हम उसको बोल सकते हैं abate. So the storm has started to abate. मतलब कम हो रहा है. It is decreasing. मतलब जितनी वो strength से that storm was there, वो up, it is decreasing. So abate. The wind has started to abate, or the rain has started to abate. मतलब it is not that strong now. Then next is words to enhance your vocabulary. Now there are some words I'll be telling you that will actually help you in enhancing your vocabulary. Let's look at that. The first is oblivion. Oblivion. What is the meaning of this word? The state of being completely forgotten. Now it means a state of being completely forgotten. Let's look at an example first. The names of the people who lived here long ago have faded into oblivion. So now this is actually a very common word. We have heard of this. Have faded into oblivion. Matlab now it is like no more into existence. People have forgotten that. So something which has been forgotten, for that we can use the word oblivion, right? Next is denigrate. Denigrate. Now the meaning of this word is to criticize somebody or something in an unfair way. Now if you criticize someone, if you criticize something in a very unfair way, then we can use the word denigrate for that. Let's look at an example. You shouldn't denigrate people just because they have different beliefs from you. Now it happens now, there are some people who just think ki, okay, this person is not having a similar opinion on something, so you start to insult them, you start being unfair with them. So that thing, that behavior is called denigrating that person, denigrating. So you can say you shouldn't denigrate the person or the people just because they have different beliefs from you. So denigrate means to criticize somebody or to be unfair with them, right? Next is preteen. Preteen. Now I think you may understand the word by just breaking it into two. Preteen. So it means a boy or a girl between the age of about 9 and 12. So teen is from 13 to 19. So preteen means a age which is between 9 to 12. So all the boys and girls who are between the age of 9 to 12, we can use the word preteen for them. So example, her music is popular with the preteens. So her music is popular with the boys and girls who are between 9 to 12. So rather than saying 9 to 12, we can say preteens. Now, drudgery. Drudgery. What is the meaning? Hard, boring work. So something which is boring and it is even hard work. It needs a lot of effort. So hard, boring work, we can use the word drudgery for that. Example can be people want to get away from the drudgery of their everyday lives. So people are like very bored from their regular hard work, from their regular routine work. So they want to just distract and just want to get away from that. So you can use the word drudgery in place of hard, boring work. So people want to get away from the drudgery of their everyday lives. Now, swarmed. Swarmed. What is the meaning of this word? It means very busy, having too much to do. Now, I think आप लोग में से कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को पता होगा इसका मीनिंग, which means आप लोग शायद यूज भी करते होगे. Swarmed का मीनिंग होता है too busy with something, too occupied with something, having too much on the plate. So, just suppose one of your friend called you and said, okay, let's go out for dinner today, and but you have a lot of work to do and the deadline is that you have to submit that work tomorrow morning. So what you can say, rather than saying that, oh, no, I cannot go, I'm sorry, I'm very busy, I have a lot of work to do, you can say, I am swamped with work, I'm sorry, I cannot do make it to the dinner place this time, or I'm sorry, I'm really swamped with work, I cannot come today. So rather than saying too busy or too occupied with work, you use to the word swarmed. I would love to meet you for lunch, but I'm way too swarmed. So again, we have used the word swarmed here. Next is peremptory. Peremptory. Meaning is expecting to be obeyed immediately without any questions. So now if something is being expected from you to be done immediately and even you are not supposed to ask any questions for that, then that thing is called peremptory. Example can be he started issuing peremptory instructions, means that suppose your boss starts giving you instructions and he wants that you do it immediately and don't ask any questions for that as well. So for that you can say that my boss has started issuing peremptory instructions. मतलब आप उसमें ना कुछ question कर सकते हो और ना ही आप उसमें मतलब आपको तुरंत you need to obey that. So that is peremptory. Next is deduce. Deduce. The meaning of this word is to reach an answer or a decision by thinking carefully about the known facts. So आप अगर कोई भी decision पे पहुंचते हो, कोई भी answer अगर आप लेते हो, so when you think about it very carefully, if you do all the background work, the background check, and then you take a decision or then you write an answer or give an answer, then that is deduce. Okay, so to reach an answer or a decision by thinking carefully about the known facts, that is deduce. Example can be we cannot deduce very much from these figures. Now maybe there is an action that needs to be taken and there are only a few figures which is available and it is being presented to you and now you are asked to make a decision. You went through that, but now as the information is not enough, you are not able to take any decision. So rather than saying as the facts are not enough, I am not able to take the decision, rather than saying this, you can say that I cannot deduce very much as I cannot deduce very much from these figures. मतलब मैं इन figures को देख के बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ decision नहीं ले पाता हूँ, नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ, right? So I cannot deduce very much from these figures. So deduce means to reach an answer or decision by thinking carefully about the known facts. Next is fallacy. Fallacy. The meaning is An idea that a lot of people think is true, but it is an fact false. So ये it means maybe basically it means misconception. So जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना misconception है. So rather than saying misconception, misconception का meaning होता है कि something which is not true. People think that it is true, but it is actually not true. It is not a fact. So आप उसकी जगह पे use कर सकते हो fallacy. It is a fallacy. Let's look at an example. It is a common fallacy that women are worse drivers than men. So ये एक common misconception है. So rather than saying that, you can say it is a common fallacy. Next is ferocious. Ferocious. Ferocious meaning is frightening and violent. Something which is very frightening, which is very violent, you can use the word ferocious. Example, I saw a ferocious lion in the jungle. So you saw a very dangerous looking, a very deadly, a very frightening, a violent lion. So you can say, I saw a ferocious lion in the jungle. Also, you can say a ferocious wind swept the beach. Again, sometimes it is too strong, it is too violent, the winds can be very frightening. So you can use the word ferocious for that as well. So something which is just frightening or violent, you can use the word ferocious. Next is gourmand. Gourmand. Now the meaning is a person who enjoys eating and often eats too much. A foodie, a person who loves to eat and who enjoys eating and just likes to have a lot of food. So the word for that is gourmand. So it can be a synonym for foodie. Example, the buffet was a gourmand's dream come true, a foodie's dream come true. So rather than saying foodie, you can say gourmand's dream. So the buffet was a gourmand's dream come true with endless options of rich and indulgent dishes. So gourmand means a person who enjoys eating and often eats too much. Then, now let's look at some words which can be used to express emotions. There are two idioms as well. So the words in the idioms that can be used, the new words, the new vocabs that can be used to express your emotions. Let's look at that. Now, first is grouchy. Grouchy. The meaning is annoyed and irritable. Now, if you feel very annoyed, something happened in the college, and you're very irritated, you're very annoyed, so you are just reacting to every little thing. So we can say that why are you so grouchy today? So grouchy means annoyed or irritable, easily irritated. Now, me example can be I was so tired and grouchy, I just couldn't be bothered. Again, grouchy means annoyed. Next, remorse. Remorse. Meaning is a feeling of sadness and being sorry for something you have done. Maybe feeling guilty. So if you feel guilty, if you feel sad about what you have done, if you regret something, then you can use the word remorse. Meaning, example is he felt no remorse for the murder he had committed. So उसको कुछ भी guilt नहीं हुआ. He didn't feel sad for what he has done. So for rather than saying guilty or regretting or feeling sad, we can use the word remorse. So he felt no remorse for the murder he had committed. Despondent. Despondent. Meaning is unhappy and with no hope or enthusiasm. So if you feel just you suppose you feel like I'm done with everything, I have no hopes left now. So for that situation, in that kind of a feeling, when you feel like that, unhappy and no hopes left, for that kind of a situation, emotion, you can use despondent, feeling despondent. Example, she started to feel despondent about ever finding a job. So suppose she lost a job and then after that she started finding new job for herself, and maybe because of some situations she is not able to get a right position for herself. So now that that feeling is called despondent. So she started to feel despondent, disheartened or unhappy about ever finding a job. Next, feeling blue. Now this is like a very new term, feeling blue. Feeling blue means to feel sad. I suppose you are feeling very sad today, and your friend asked, "What happened? Why do you look like this today?" So you said, "Oh, I'm just feeling very blue. I feel blue today," which will mean that you feel sad. I have been feeling blue ever since I have heard that my daughter will be moving abroad for good. So अगर आपको बोलना हो कि आपको आप you are sad, you are upset, so you can say I'm feeling blue. So for a mother, since she got to know that her daughter has to move abroad, she has started feeling sad. So rather than saying feeling sad, she can use feeling blue. Next, enraged. Enraged. Now, meaning to fill with rage, anger. Now you are very angry about something, you are very, very upset, and you are really furious about something, then you can say that I'm enraged, right? Example, she was enraged with his stupidity. Now, a friend of hers did something, and now she's very upset. She's very, very angry actually about that gesture of that person. So we can say that she was enraged with his stupidity. The students were enraged at these new rules. So students, maybe there is some new rule with which they are not happy. They're very upset. They're very angry about it. So that you can say that the students were enraged at these new rules. Exhilarated. Exhilarated. Now, the meaning for this word can be very excited and happy. Now, suppose you feel very happy about something, you're very, very excited, you're very happy that something is happening. So, for that feeling, that emotion, you can say exhilarated. Meaning, sorry, example, we felt exhilarated by our walk along the beach. So, walking along the beach with the breeze, it feels very nice. It makes you feel very happy, very excited. So you can say you felt exhilarated. Chuffed. Chuffed. It means pleased or happy. So जैसे हम लोग को अगर बोलना होता है ना, I'm pleased to inform you. So you can say I'm chuffed to inform you. So chuffed means very pleased or very happy. Meaning, sorry, example, he was really chuffed with his present. So you gifted a present, you gave a present to your younger brother, and he was very excited. He got very happy by seeing that present. So you can say that he was really chuffed with his present. Now the next word is appalled. Appalled. Now it means having strong feelings of shock or disapproval. Now when you feel that you see something and you are shocked to see that, or you feel that you're not agreeing with something, you are not approving of something, that kind of a feeling, that strong feeling of shock or disapproval is called appalled. Now let's look at an example. She was appalled to see how much damage the storm has caused. So now we all know that when there is a very strong storm, it actually causes a lot of damage. And then a girl went and she was not shocked, not disapproved. She was appalled. We will use appalled word rather than saying shocked. So she was appalled to see how much damage the storm has caused. Now, the next word is nonplussed. Nonplussed. Let's look at the meaning. Surprised, confused, and not certain how to react. Now, for example, you were not expecting something, and a friend of yours or your family member surprised you with that particular thing, or with that maybe a mobile phone. You wanted to purchase a mobile phone, a certain phone for a very long time, and your family member surprised you with that on your birthday. So you will feel nonplussed. Why? Because you're so excited, you're so surprised, and you at that very moment you don't know how to react to it. So that feeling, that emotion is called nonplussed. So let's look at an example. He was nonplussed by his daughter's confession that she had stolen the CD. Now, one thing, it can be good, it can be bad. It's not always ki you will be pleasantly surprised. It can be the other way also. Like in the example, he was nonplussed, he was shocked, he was surprised, and he basically didn't know how to react to that when he got to know, when his daughter confessed that she had stolen the CD, which is actually not a good feeling. So that at that time also we can use nonplussed. Okay. Now the next word is down in the dumps. Now, this is An idiom. This is an idiom now which is also used to express an emotion, down in the dumps. Now, what does it mean? Unhappy, sad, or fed up. So, when you feel very unhappy, sad, and fed up, like you feel, okay, I'm done with it, I cannot deal with it anymore. So, that feeling of being just done, just fed up, and unhappy with things, that is called nonplussed. So, let's look at an example. She's a bit down in the dumps because she failed on of her exams. So, of course, when we fail in an exam, when we are not able to do very good in an exam, so what do we feel? We feel very sad, we feel very low, very disheartened. So, again, unhappy, sad, or fed up. So, you can use at that place, you can say down in the dumps. I'm feeling down in the dumps. So, she's a bit down in the dumps because she failed one of her exams. Okay. Now, next on the slide is a quick word challenge. So, what is a quick word challenge? Quick word challenge, it will actually help you to understand the correct context, the correct meaning of certain words which are mostly confused. And I'm pretty sure that after this slide, this challenge, you will be able to differentiate with certain words, between certain words, and you will be able to use them correctly. So, let's start. The first two words that we'll be discussing is lose and lose. Now, if you see one thing, lose and lose, both the words have different spellings, right? And also we know that these two words have different meanings. But look, just listen to the pronunciation. Lose and LOOS is also loose. So the pronunciation is same, but the meaning of these words are different. The words are basically different. But I have seen actually this is one of the most common words which we use almost daily. A lot of time we use these words a lot of times, and it happens that we tend to make a lot of mistakes. So let's look at an example and see what words mean, what will be the right word to be used at this place. Now, one of the screws is loose. The next sentence is one of the screws is loose. Now, which loose is correct in this context? That one of the screws is loose. So, which loose should we use here? Now, LOSE lose means to fail, not able to win. And LOOSE lose means which something which is not tight. So here, tell me which one is the correct context? LOOSE, which means it is not tight. So this one, the first one will be correct. One of the screws is loose. Now there is another word which is bail and bail. Again, these two words also are pronounced in the same way but have a different spelling and at the same time mean different. Now, BAIL, BAIL bail means it is like a deposit money that we give to temporarily, when we want, if somebody is there in the prison and we deposit some money, and in turn of that, in place because of that, we get that person out of jail for some time. So that thing is called bail. To get somebody out of jail on temporary basis by depositing some money, that is bail. Now the next bail, which is BALE, this bail means it is actually a bounded stack of some material. So when, if you have ever seen that leather, how it is bounded, it is a stack of leather, that is basically bail. Even hay, so bounded stack of any material which can be hay or leather, that is BALE, bail. Like this in the image we can see this is a bail. So let's look at the sentences and we'll see which one is correct. He is free on $3 million bail but must attend the court hearings daily. The next is he is free on $3 million bail, BALE bail, but must attend the court hearings daily. So now here we know we are talking about the money, the bail that we get after depositing money from the jail. Now, which one is correct here? Of course, the first sentence is correct, which is BAIL, bail. The next two words, again, this is used so many times, and that too in a wrong way. People get confused between these two. Compliment and compliment. Again, two words being pronounced the same way but have different meanings. Compliment, which is Complement. This compliment, the second one, it means something which goes along with the other thing. It just makes something complete in any way. That is complement. Complement. And the first one, the Complement, the complement with I means to give a remark to somebody, some admiration to somebody. That is a compliment. Like, you're looking good today. So that is a compliment. And this compliment has an I in it. So let's look at the sentences. I was paid a very sincere compliment this weekend. Next sentence. I was paid a very sincere compliment this weekend. So which compliment is correct in these sentences? So this complement, Complement, means something which makes a material or an item complete in some way. So of course, this is not the right context. This complement with I, which means to give a remark to somebody, is correct here. So the first sentence again, I was paid a very sincere compliment, a remark this weekend. So this is correct. Now, the next two words, again, one of the most common words, most used words is weather and weather. Now, first, weather. This weather means a climatic condition. Like if I ask you, how's the weather today? Is it hot or cold? So this is the weather with weather. This is that weather. It means a climatic condition. The next weather, whether. This weather means a condition, basically an option. If I say that whether you are coming or not, whether you are coming or not. So mostly it is a yes or no question. When you give options, that means there whether, this weather will be used. So giving options, yes or no questions, whether I will be going or he will be coming. So this kind of sentences in which you're giving some certain option, that is when we will use whether. Now let's look at the sentences. If you go out in cold weather, you will get ill. The next is, if you go out in the cold weather, you will get ill. Now which weather is correct here? If now there it is clearly written cold weather, so it means we're talking about the climatic condition. So the correct word here will be weather, weather. The next two words here on the slide is stationary, stationary. Again, same pronunciation, but the meaning is completely different. Now, this stationary, Stationery, the stationary with E means the collection of office items. Basically, pen, paper, envelope, and scissors, all these things are called in a collective way, we say stationery, and this stationery has E in it. Now the next stationery on the board, Stationary. Now this stationery means something which is still, something which is not moving. That is also called stationery, but the spelling is different. It is Stationary. The second one means something which is not moving, something which is still. So let's look at the sentences. A car collided with a stationary vehicle. Next sentence, a car collided with a stationary vehicle. The first sentence has the stationary with E, and the second sentence has Stationary. Now, which one will be correct? So, if we understand the meaning, the context of the sentence, it is a car collided with a stationary vehicle, which means, मतलब जो ऐसा vehicle which is not moving. So, which stationary will be the correct here? The stationary with A. Statio, sorry, Stationary, which means to be still, which is not moving. Now, the next two words are alter and alter. Almost is it sounds almost similar. So let's look at the meanings now. Alter, it means basically it is like a position which is in a elevated position basically. Yeah, it is an elevated position which is positioned in the center of a religious place, mostly in church, where some ceremonies are being done. So auspicious ceremonies are done. Uh, that is an altar, altar. Now the next word is alter, alter. This alter means to modify or to change. So you know when we go to a boutique and get our dress altered, so which alter will be used here? Alter, this alter, which means to change or to modify something. I shall have to alter my plans, or I shall have to alter my plans. Now, which alter will be correct here? Of course, the alter with alter, the alter with er will be correct, which means to change or modify. So, here it means I shall have to change or modify my plans. Now, the next two words are pain and pain. So first, PAIN, we all know pain. We understand the meaning. I have a pain in my stomach, basically a stomach ache. So I have pain in my knee. So that pain we all know. The next word is PANE, pain. It is pronounced in the same way, but it means different. The meaning is it is actually a slab which is against the window. So that is the window pane. So pane means that. So the example can be when the baseball crashed through the pane, the father explained to his son how important it is to hit the ball away from the house. The first sentence. Now, the next, when the baseball crashed through the pane, P-A-N-E, pane, the father explained to his son how important it is to hit the ball away from the house. Now, in both the sentences, word pain is used. In one sentence, it is PAIN, and in the next sentence, it is PANE. Which will be correct? Pain, we all know the first meaning. Is it correct here? No, of course not. The correct meaning, the correct word to be used in this context will be PANE, pain, which is related, which means basically the slab against the window. So, when the baseball crashed through the pane, PANE, pain. Now, this is our last two words which we'll be discussing. That is your and your. Your and your. So again, a lot of students just get confused between these two words. So your means the first one, you are. It means you are. So your with an apostrophe means it is basically a contraction of you and are. So it is your, and this your means something which is yours, something that you have, something which is yours. So it is your, your. Now the sentence can be you're one step ahead of me, or you're one step ahead of me. So should we use your, which means something which is yours, or you are, your, which is a contraction of you and are. So which will be correct here? You're one step ahead of me, or you are one step ahead of me. Of course, the second sentence is correct. So the sentence with the your with apostrophe will be the correct word to be used in this context. So now I hope with this video you have got to know a lot of new things, a lot of words, and that should be, I hope that those words are helpful for you, and thank you so much.